So this is an example using Cubase to record something slightly more along the lines of a piece of sound design. I've created an empty project and I've saved my untitled empty project in my MUS119 2015 folder. And I've saved it as Sound Design Cubase. Overwrite that, that's fine. I click here, right click, add audio track, and I'll add a couple of tracks. You can make these a little larger just by clicking at the bottom here. And remember, in class we talked about automation, and we can show drop-down automation for all of these tracks through the little circle that appears at the bottom left of each track. Remember, when you click on a track, you see it highlights and you see the inspector for that track. Now again, we're going to use inserts and sends to get us a reverb effect on our sound. So first of all, let's find a sound. So I opened the pool window, media, open pool window, Control P, and I need to find an import a sound. So this is very laborious for me. I have to go to Sound Files, Test Sounds, Sound Pack, and an old favourite. Let's find something like the flute. I could copy the file to the working directory, but I don't need to on this occasion. This is interesting to note that it's a 16-bit sound file, yet our project is 24-bit. It really doesn't matter changing that for now. But do just check that you are working at the right sample rate and at the right, when you use video, frames per second, and at the right bit depth. Normally you want to see 44,100 kilohertz, 24-bit when you select project setup. So I can drag the flute sound into my first track. And I'm going to just start with that sound growing out of nothing, and I'm going to send the end of that sound to reverb. Zoom in a little bit, maybe some key taps would be nice. It's quite noisy. I'm going to take that little snippet of sound, and at the end of this sound I'm going to take it to reverb and extend the tail of this sound. So to do that, to create an FX track, right click, add FX channel track, select the effect I want. It'll be reverb, and we can use RoomWorks. So now on this FX channel track, you can see that there is an insert on the channel track, RoomWorks. And RoomWorks allows you to change the shape and size of a room, and we're going to experiment with the reverb time and give it quite a large reverb time, because we're using this not to emulate a room but to generate sound. So now in this audio channel I need to send some of this pre-fade to my FX channel track. So with this highlighted, I select my send and click on this arrow here, select destination, and I'm going to send it to RoomWorks. Turn it on, right click, move to pre-fader. So now I can drop another automation track here, select R for both of these, and now I can find send one for the RoomWorks. So under more, sends one level. Put this right down. Notice how it affects the level here, which is great. It shows we're working well. Put up a little tiny blip of reverb at the end here. And then as this dies away, this blips in. do is starting from the beginning, quick Command S to save it. That's precisely what we want. And while that is dying away naturally, we don't need to do any volume automation on that. We go back to our pool. I don't actually need to see my rack here today, so I can get rid of that. I'm not going to use any MIDI instruments, but I do need to see the pool. I can drag the flute back in. And that nice semitone combination was kind of nice. What else have we got here? Imagine there's a drone carrying on. Another example of the same, coming in a semitonal relationship. You could just fade it in, drop it out immediately, get rid of those two, and then fade in another snippet of reverb. Snip that. Maybe we could have some of these. At which point we want to make sure that we are automating volume. Get rid of those. Now these are very, very noisy. But let's have one or two of them, perhaps with a fedback delay. Make sure that these fade in and out very quickly. So I could make another FX channel track. On this one I'm going to put something that might delay it. Delay, stereo delay. And make sure we've got some feedback here. Take the sync off the delay so it's quite short. Let's just test this. I need to send this now. So it's a completely new channel with no current sends. So we now send to stereo delay, turn it on, move to pre-fader. And check the send level 1, it's down. Quite nicely, could have it even shorter. Be very careful when using sends such as this, as an effect like this can get very cliched very quickly. Turn that down in volume a little bit. In actual fact, the energy profile of this blow here could be something that could then activate the sound of the key tap. Thus begins something interesting with the flute. So a short work exploring flute sounds might be quite interesting. You're certainly working with pitch, and you're developing a pitch canvas with some kind of texture going on, and then also some very active gestures here.